I okay, so I'm back with a few updates from the previous month. I think I actually uploaded the last video early last month, but then obviously I couldn't pull up during the month because I actually didn't have much to share with you guys. I only had like maybe three updates. I have to be like very patient with this page. So I think this setup it was a setup from April. Yeah. I had like a buy setup on this one. This one exactly. You see. So unfortunately we took out this low, right? You see, just bear with me there. Um just bear with me there. So you see this one, this leg, I think it was about 400 pips or something. It went crazy, right? Yeah. 450 pips. It went crazy. And then I was really excited. I was really excited. But then it came back and then completed the D leg. So meaning this was our A, B, C, D. It actually pulled back and completed the D leg, just a little bit lower than this low, right? Which actually took out this low, which was my A, which was my A. Meaning now it is not what I actually thought it was. Meaning this is a sell setup now. It is no longer a buy setup. Hence I hit that SL. So now I have this sell setup. Excuse me. And then as you can see, this is my 50% and then this is my 62 hands. Excuse me, hands. This is my first point of interest, but then I wouldn't be surprised if you actually take out all of this and then push way back into these supplies. But then this definitely will be my first point of interest. How that makes sense? This zone is very much valid for a sell, right? I think it's about 400 pips to go, 500 pips to go. Yeah, this zone is very much valid for a sell. It is below the 50% at the 62, and it's a spike, which makes it extremely valid. A spike basically means that it is more of like a clue of saying there were orders which were left here. So there is high possibilities or there's a higher chances of actually price pulling back into the zone, or the market makers pulling back into the zone to come fetch these orders, just checking out this liquidity and then come fetch these orders and then move as intended, right? I also realized that I had actually made a mistake on this one. Imagine I like a sell setup. No, yeah, it was an order, right? It was an order. It was a pending order. But then I cancelled it immediately after reanalyzing and realizing that I was actually wrong, because now this is what I actually initially had. Right? This is what I actually initially had. I was like, this was my B. Sorry, I thought this was my B, and it was right. You see, just below the 62, below the 50, which is very much valid, right? But then I realized that you see this leg, this one, it was just a deeper correction, just a deeper correction back into the supplies, into the previously formed supplies. As you can see, I hope that makes sense, right? I hope that makes sense. I know I'm very fast and very quick, especially if you're not used to what I'm doing or the way that I trade. You see, I know I'm very quick, but then I'm just trying to make sure that everything is 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 as clear as it possibly can, right? If that makes sense. So as you can see, this is my A, B, C, D. Let me just remove this fib. You see, this is my A, B, C, D. D above this high, meaning we are bullish, right? We're bullish. So this was your first confirmation. If you had actually missed this first, sorry, or this aggressive pullback upon the top of this newly formed demand or CP level, this was your opportunity, or that one at least. But then this is the most recent one, right? So if you had actually missed that one, if you had actually missed that one, this was your second one. I remember I did have this setup. I did have this setup. I think it was last year. Yes, last year. I think it was last year. First, I had my CP level right there, somewhere around there. And then after realizing that price was, sorry, after price had actually taken out this CP level, and then had like something like this. And then I was actually anticipating a drop further back into this demand before we can actually push high, like we can try and actually push it higher. Let me just confirm with you guys so that you guys don't end up thinking that I'm capping, right? Or I'm lying to you guys. What the fuck? Why is this thing? It's the Eurocad, right? Yes, it's the Eurocad. Last week, earlier this year, not earlier this year. Oh, let me just begin. Yeah, let's just start with this one so that we don't end up skipping it, thinking it was not the one when it was. So no, I was just making some corrections. Oh, not this one, not this one, not this one, not this one, not this one. I was wrong on this one. Not this one, not this one. Yeah, yeah, this one exactly. You see, this one. I was actually anticipating a tap or a drop further back into this demand, and then I push higher. But then that didn't happen because, as I always say, once price is below the 50%, right? Any zone that is below the 50% is actually valid for a buy, right? As you can see, just started going crazy. It was last year November. It is still going crazy even today. Even to date. Imagine. I think it's about close to 2,000 peeps or something, which is 1,005 peeps. Imagine. So, but then it's fine. It's okay. This one is going crazy as well. Um, this one is going crazy as well. I remember I also had it. Sorry, my bad day. Oh, this page, gents, they require some patience. Right, I want to show you. I want to show you guys something. These pairs they require extreme patience, which is actually what is happening on the USD, on the USDs are USD Swiss franc, USD CAD, NZD USD, AUD USD, USD Mexican peso. Yeah, I think so. Something like that. Like I know, like I've seen it happen. Hence, I know that now I just need to be extremely patient, right? Which is, but then I know it is very frustrating, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. It is extremely frustrating because now it's a lot of zones, way too many zones, and you have to like attempt on each and every zone, right? You see, something like this. I think my first attempt it was somewhere around. Yeah, you see this one. This was my first attempt. Yeah, I think we do have it. I think we do have it. I think yes. There you go. They So this was my first attempt, right? And then it went crazy about 400 pips or something. Yeah, and then it pulled back. You see? I was like, wow, what the fuck? And then it pulled back. This was my second. No, no, I'm lying. It wasn't my second. I think it was it was like my fourth attempt. Yo, this is extremely exhausting, bro. Hence, I'm saying you need to use like some proper risk management, right? Yeah, I'm also gonna drop some psychology. What today towards the end of this video, just making sure that I do not prolong this one. So as you can see, it's actually going crazy. Just I think I on this one alone, I had about five attempts on each and every one of these zones, because now all these zones are valid, bro. Whether you like it or not, you don't even know which one is gonna hold, right? You see, as soon as this happens, right? As soon as this happens, then you know every zone that is below the 50% is valid. Now I've added the 0.62, a little bit more better, but then it's still the very same thing. See, because now each and every zone here is valid, but then there's also other oh sorry, we also look at the cases left by the market makers, but then it becomes very tricky when you have something like this, right? Because let me just make an example. Let me just zoom in. Let me just make an example, because you see this is a valid zone and you see how big it is. It's about 130 something already accountable, bro. There's no way I'm risking. There is no way I'm having such a big SL. Already, this on its own makes you very uncomfortable. And then you have this, because now I can see Spike Nyana, which is also valid. And then you have this, which is also a spike. And then you have the zone below again, which is also a spike, right? And then you have this zone, which is also a spike, the one that actually did hold, right? You see how patient you have to be. This is very frustrating, bro, but then it is worth it, bro. If you just use proper risk management. For example, I think I was talking to one of the G's, one of my friends last week. I was telling him, um, because I just realized that now proper risk management and just patience is actually gonna help me get to this thing, because now I've lost like a lot of accounts, bro, and I didn't understand why. Like imagine, bro, maybe let's just say you have maybe a 10K account. Let's just say you have a 10K account, right? It's a prop account. Your max drawdown is 8%, meaning it's $800, and then your daily drawdown is $400, right? So meaning if you are risking 1% per trade, you only have like eight chances, right? Or you have like eight opportunities to make it. And if you take eight back-to-back L's, which is very much possible, especially with my strategy, eight back-to-back L's, then that account is gone, bro. Imagine. So now I've decided to do, or let me just say trade accordingly, not try to make money quick, right? I need to be responsible so that I do not lose, or I do not keep on losing these accounts back to back. See, I feel like my approach now is a little bit more secure now. It's gonna be a very hard for me to lose accounts now, because now let me just say let's just make an example with the five bands account, right? 5K account, or yeah, with the 10K account. That 10K account, I'm gonna trade it as if I'm actually trading a 5K account. So usually I would use 0.30 per trade, depending on the size of the zone. but zero from 0.30, 0.33, 0.35, 0.40, sometimes 0.45, right? Um, per trade, right? So now I've decided to reduce my lots, meaning, before we get to that point, and then on a 5K account, I'd usually use maybe 0.15, 0.17, 0.18, sometimes 0.22, depending on the size of of the zone, right? So now, hence, sorry. Now, since now I'm saying that I'm gonna use or I'm gonna trade my 10K as if I'm actually trading my 5K, meaning that on my 10K account, I'm only gonna use look, I'm only gonna be using 0.15, 0.17, 0.12 lot sizes, meaning that I'll only be risking $30 per trade, right? Let's just make an example on, or before we get to that point again, on a 5K account, I'll only be using 0.7, 0.6, 0.8, sometimes 0.12, depending on the size of the zone, right? Meaning that on a 5K account, I'll only be using, sorry, I'll only be risking $15. Yeah, $15, not more than that. So let's just say, for an example, I had like all the zones, right? These were about five zones, and then this one is the one that actually did hold, right? So on this, from one, two, three, four, five, on all of these zones, let me just say, I lost like 15 dollars, right, on a 5K account. I don't think that is more than $100, right? Yeah, it is way less. I don't think it's even more than $70, way less. So meaning, out of like, I would have risked about $60 or $70 to make back about this is about 2,500, to make back about let's just say more than $1,500, right? Yeah, more than $1,500. You see, yeah. So this is, or let me just say, this requires extreme patience, bro. Even this one is going crazy. I think I'm running out of time, bro. I think I'm running out of time. But let me just try and see if we can actually get it. But I'm running. I'm really running out of time. GBP, JPY, GBP, JPY. I think the EJ is also going crazy, right? The EJ is also going crazy. The very same thing. Like the very same thing happened. So after this one, I'll just continue with the updates so that we do not prolong this video, right? We do not waste more time. Not this one, not this one, not this one, no. Yeah, yeah, this one. You see, you see, you see, I was actually expecting for price to complete this delay. Just fill this favorite gap and then tap into this, because now I was not comfortable with the size of the zone. Hence, I actually minimized my CP level because now the zone was very big, bro. But then it's okay. See, now it's gone. I think it's more than 2,000 peeps. Yeah, close to 2,000. This one on the NJ is gone as well. Oh no, no, no! This one is actually was actually wrong. I remember I also had like a buy setup on this one, but then this one is very clear. Unlike the AJ, right? This one is very clear. Just took out the slow, and then meaning now it is our sell setup, right? Hence I have, you see, hence I have this CP level as my first point of interest. Here I was just trying to accompany price back into this CP level, right? If that makes sense. My bad there if I'm being too quick. I'm really running out of time. Okay, so now I'm just waiting for price to tap back into this one, right? Just be patient. I remember I had like a lot of a lot of zones. Yeah, I remember I had like a lot of zones, but then now there's a spike. Just waiting for price to tap back into this one and then move its intended. Also have the very same thing on the USDs. Just waiting for price to pull back into this for our demand, which is also like a spike, right? Just tap into this one and then move as intended. This one is gone. This one is already gone. Yeah, yeah. This one is gone.